my name is Amanda Feinstein, and I have created a yoga DVD for kids who have pain. Specifically, this video is meant to help teenagers with arthritis. The yoga that we will be doing is based on a sequence called the Joint-Freeing series, developed by Mukunda Stiles. We will focus on moving the joints through their full range of motion while using the breath to help us relax. There should not be any stress or straining while doing the yoga postures. If there is pain, the posture should be modified or stopped. Remember that yoga should be comfortable and fun. Also, the movements that you will be learning can be done on the floor, seated in a chair, or even in your bed. It is best to practice some form of yoga for a short period of time each day. I hope that you enjoy learning these gentle movements. Every yoga practice is going to begin with breathing. So we're going to start by noticing our own natural breath for a few moments before we start directing our breath into different parts of our bodies. And remember that all of the yoga poses and all the breathing that we're doing can be done seated in a chair or lying down on the floor. So let's begin by just closing our eyes and getting comfortable and just begin to notice your own natural breathing. Begin to notice where in your body you feel your breath. And also begin to notice any thoughts that might be running through your mind. Just noticing all of this without changing it, just observing. So now we're going to start to focus on a particular breathing technique. It's called a 3-part breath. And you can feel free to keep your eyes closed while we're doing this breathing. And if at any point you'd like to open your eyes, you can always just focus your gaze down in front of you. We're going to start by focusing our breathing on our upper chest. So if it's comfortable for you, I'd like you to place your hands somewhere near your collarbone, so on your upper chest. And if you'd like to open your eyes just to get a sense of where the hands go, then that's fine. So placing your hands right up here. And we're going to start to focus our breathing into our chest, inhaling and exhaling. And breathing in and breathing out. And again, inhaling and exhaling. And one more time, breathing into our upper chest and out. Good job. So now we're going to move our hands down to our rib cage, the right hand on the right side, left hand on the left side. And if it feels uncomfortable for you to have your hands there, then you can just place your hands on your lap and just focus your attention there. So we're going to start by inhaling, feeling your ribs expanding away from each other, and then exhaling, feeling the ribs contracting towards each other. Breathing in, feeling the ribs expand, and breathing out, contracting. You can even visualize the wings of a butterfly expanding and contracting. Good. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Good job. So now let's move our hands all the way down to our bellies. And we're going to try to focus our breath and bring it all the way down to our lower abdomen. So when we breathe in, the belly should fill with air, growing bigger. And then when we breathe out, the belly gets smaller again, releasing the air. So breathing in, belly gets filled with air. And breathing out, the belly relaxes. Again, breathing in and breathing out. And one more time, breathing into the belly and breathing out. Good. So now let's leave one of our hands on our belly and move the other hand back up to our chest. And what we're going to do now is something called a wave breath. It's a 3-part breath that helps us to relax, and we'll be using this breath with a lot of our movements today, our yoga movements. So we're going to start by breathing a little bit into our chest, a little more into our rib cage, and then all the way down into the belly. And then exhaling from the belly to the ribs to the chest. Good, let's try this again. So breathing into the chest then the rib cage, and then the belly, and then exhaling belly, ribs, and chest. So these breathing exercises, as well as all of the movements, can be done lying on the floor as well as seated in a chair. Good. Breathing into the chest, ribs, and belly, and exhaling belly, ribs, and chest. So now you can just bring your hands down by your sides on your legs and just start to notice your own natural breathing again. You can close your eyes and just get a sense of your body and notice how your body feels. Very nice job. So now we're going to begin with some movements for our ankles, and this can be done two different ways in a chair. So you can either have your legs extended out in front of you like this, or you can have your heels on the ground. Good. So we're going to start by pointing our toes and flexing, and then pointing and flexing. Now let's add our breath, breathing in as we point and breathing out as we flex. And again, breathing in and breathing out. And again, inhaling and exhaling. And one more time, breathing in and breathing out. Good job. So the ankle movement can also be done seated on the floor. So from a seated position, just begin by pointing the toes and then flexing them. And now adding the breath, breathing in as you point, and then breathing out as you flex. So now we're going to do some ankle circles. If you're doing the movements in a chair, then just scoot to the front of your chair and extend your legs out in front of you with your heels on the ground. So now just begin to do some slow and gentle ankle circles. And remember to continue breathing as you're doing these. Good. Notice what sensations you're feeling in your body. You probably feel your ankles, but what else do you feel? Just noticing. You can change direction now, so whatever direction you were doing before, just go in the opposite direction. And see if you notice any other parts of your body moving here, so maybe your knees or even your hips. So just getting in touch with other sensations that are happening. And then bringing your feet back up to center. If you're practicing seated on the floor or in your bed, then just make sure that your ankles are about hip width apart, and then just begin to come into some gentle ankle circles. Rotating them around nice and slowly. And seeing if you can feel these movements in any other parts of your body, maybe your knees or your hips, just noticing whatever sensations you feel. So let's all start with the same leg, okay? And what we're going to be doing is a movement that helps to strengthen and stretch the muscles that support the knees. So let's all start with our right leg, okay? And some of you have straps and some of you don't, and this movement can be done seated in a chair with or without a strap, or on the floor or in your bed. So we're going to first start by just showing it with a strap. And those of you who don't have a strap, you can do it without. So we're going to start by inhaling, extending your leg, your right leg out in front, and then exhaling, bringing that leg back behind. Good. And then breathing in, extending the leg, and exhaling. Good. And breathing in, and breathing out. And one more time, inhaling, really feeling your thigh muscle, and exhaling. Good. So now let's transition to our left leg. So we're going to start by inhaling, bringing our left leg out in front, and then exhaling, bringing it down, bending at the knee. So again, breathing in and breathing out. And again, inhaling and exhaling. And one more time, breathing in and breathing out. Good job. So if you're doing your movements on the floor or in your bed, then start just like this with your right leg bent up. And then one way of doing it is that you can just slide the leg down on the ground. So, and then slide it up, actually having your heel sliding back up. Good. And then sliding the leg back down. Good. Sometimes it can get a little sticky on a yoga mat, but then sliding it back up again. Good job. And then let's try it in the air actually this time. So extending the leg up in the air. Good. Yeah. And then bending at the knee. And then let's add the breath. Breathing in to extend up. Good job. And then breathing out. And one more time, inhaling and exhaling. Good. And then you can just bring the leg back down to the center. And then let's do the left leg too. So bending the knee. Let's start by doing the gentler way, which is just sliding the heel down on the ground. So starting inhaling, sliding down on the ground. Good. And then exhaling, bringing it back up. And then again, inhaling, sliding down. And then exhaling back up. And then this time, let's bring it in the air, if that feels comfortable for you. Inhaling up, and then exhaling down. And one more time, breathing in, and breathing out. And then you can slide your leg back down to the ground. And remember to choose postures that feel comfortable for you. So if it doesn't feel comfortable lifting the leg in the air like that, then you can do it in a modified way by just sliding on the ground. And the same thing with the postures done in a chair. So now we're going to be doing a movement that helps strengthen and helps with range of motion of the hip joints. So there's a few different ways of doing this movement. We can do this standing behind a chair, lying on our side, or on our hands and our knees. So let's start by doing the one behind the chair. So just hold on to the chair and make sure it's sturdy. And let's all start with the right leg. So make sure both legs are stabilized on the ground, and we're going to start by inhaling, extending the right leg back behind us, and then exhaling, bringing the knee up towards the head, and then breathing in, extending the leg back behind you, and exhaling, knee towards the head. And again, breathing in and breathing out, and again, inhaling and exhaling, and one last time, breathing in and breathing out, and then bringing the right leg back down to the ground. So you can stand up for a second and shake out. And then we're going to do our left leg now. So make sure your weight is on your right side and gripping the chair. And we're gonna start by inhaling, lengthening the leg back behind us, and then exhaling, bringing the knee up towards the head, and breathing in and breathing out. And one last time, inhaling and exhaling. And then bringing the other foot back down. Good job. So one of the other ways that we can do this posture is on our hands and our knees. So begin by inhaling, extending the leg out behind you, and exhaling, bringing the knee up towards the head. And again, breathing in, extending the leg back behind, and exhaling, knee to head. And one more time, breathing in and breathing out. Good. And remember, if you have sore wrists or shoulders, this way is probably not the best for you. So another way that we can do this same hip movement is by lying on our sides, having something soft underneath our heads, and using one of our hands for support. So let's start by inhaling, bringing the top leg back behind you, and exhaling, bringing the knee up towards the head. Good. And then inhaling, bringing the leg back behind, and exhaling, bringing the knee up towards the head. And one more time, inhaling and exhaling. And then just bringing your top leg to rest on top of your bottom leg. Good job. Now we're going to do another movement that focuses on our hips. This is a really relaxing movement, and so I normally recommend this movement to be done either on the floor or lying down on the floor or lying in your bed. I'm going to show you a variation that can be done in a chair, and then we're going to spend a little bit more time doing this one on the floor. So let's all start by coming to sit at the edge of our chairs, and we're just going to rotate a little bit and start to feel our hips loosening up. And make sure to be breathing deeply in and out as you're doing this movement. Noticing your back and your hips loosening up, and then changing direction. Good job. Okay, and then coming back to center. What I want you to do is just begin to sway your legs left and right, like windshield wipers. And then as you're doing this, see if you can have your head go in the opposite direction of your legs. Just swaying left and right like that. Perfect. And then you can even move your arms and see if you want to make them into a T position and see how that feels, and continue with the legs. And you can even move your feet about hip width apart. And just kind of play around with that and see if it feels better to have your feet further apart. Good. And this movement is really all about relaxing and getting in touch with what feels good to your body. Noticing which way feels the best. So you can even move your feet wider than the mat. You can move them close together. Just kind of trying different variations with your feet to see what feels the best. As we do movements like this, we're really able to get in touch with our bodies and notice what helps us to relax and what brings more comfort. Good job. So whenever you feel ready, you can bring your feet back together and just rest there. Good. On this track, we're going to be focusing on doing some movements for our hands, wrists, elbows, and shoulders. All of these movements can be done sitting in a chair, sitting on your bed, on the floor, any way that's comfortable for you. Some of them can even be done lying down. So just make sure that you're comfortable and being gentle with your body. Okay, so the first one we're going to start with is we're going to extend our arms out in front of us if that's comfortable. If it's not comfortable for you, you can just have your hands by your side. Either way is fine. And we're going to start by inhaling, making fists, not too tight, and then exhaling, releasing. And then inhaling, making fists, and exhaling. And again, breathing in, exhaling, releasing your tension. And again, breathing in, making sure to be gentle with your hands, and exhaling, opening wide. Now you can just shake out your hands a little bit. Good. So the next movements that we're going to be doing are specifically for our fingers. So let's just hold our hands up in front of us. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be touching our thumb to our pointer finger, then our thumb to our middle finger, then thumb to the ring finger, and then our thumb to the pinky. And then we're going to start all over to the pointer, the middle, the ring, and the pinky. And then again, pointer, middle, ring, pinky. And one more time, pointer, the middle, the ring, and the pinky. And that should help to loosen up your hands, and you can then shake out your fingers a little bit. And this is a movement that if it feels good for you to do it more than just 4 times, you can go ahead and continue doing more of those on your own. All right, so now let's do some movements for our wrists. We're going to bring our hands out in front of us if that's comfortable. If not, you can have your hands closer down by your sides. And we're going to start by inhaling, bringing our fingertips pointing down towards the ground, and then exhaling, bringing our fingertips up towards the sky. So again, inhaling deeply and exhaling. And again, breathing in and breathing out, feeling your wrists relaxing and stretching. Breathing in and breathing out. And trying to incorporate the wave breath whenever you can. chest, ribs, belly, belly, ribs, chest. Good, and just one more time, breathing in and breathing out. Good, and then just resting your arms down by your sides. All right, so let's just shake out our wrists a little bit, and our fingers too. And we're gonna do one more movement that's for our wrists, and these are some wrist circles. So again, you can bring your hands straight out in front of you or even down by your sides, and just begin to come into some wrist circles. They should be nice and gentle. We're always focusing on being gentle with our bodies. We don't want to do anything that's increasing our pain. So just becoming aware of the sensations that you feel and making sure to be nice and gentle with your body. And changing direction. Good, and remembering to breathe. Good. And then just resting your arms down by your sides. From here, we're going to go into one movement for our elbows. And this is one where we'll be extending our arms out in front of us, just like this. And we're going to take a deep breath in with our arms extended. And then when we exhale, we're going to bring our fingertips up towards our shoulders. So if you can touch your shoulders, that's fine. And if not, just bring them up towards the shoulders. And then we're going to inhale again and exhaling. Breathing in, chest, ribs, belly, and exhaling, belly, ribs, chest. Good job. And breathing in and breathing out. And one more time, inhaling and exhaling. And this time, let's keep our fingertips either on our shoulders or close by, and then we're gonna bring our elbows out to either side. Good. And so now we're gonna move on to some movements for our shoulders here. So scoot a little bit to the front of your chair. And if you're sitting on your bed, just make sure maybe you're sitting at the front of your bed. And if you're on the floor, it doesn't matter how you're seated, as long as you're seated up. Now leaving your fingertips up on your shoulders, we're going to extend our elbows out to either side. Good. And now we're going to bring our elbows back behind us, arching the back, pretending as if your elbows could actually touch each other. And then we're going to inhale, bringing the elbows back towards each other, almost touching if you can, and then bringing your chin down towards your chest. Good. And then breathing in, squeezing the elbows back behind you again, arching your back slightly, and exhaling, rounding, bringing the elbows together. Good. And one more time, breathing in, opening up through the chest, and then exhaling, bringing the elbows together, tucking your chin down towards your chest. And then you can slowly release your arms down by your sides. Good job. The next movement that we're going to do is also for our shoulders. And there are two different variations that we can do for this one. So first we're going to start with one variation by bringing our elbows kind of in towards our sides like this. And we're going to start by inhaling here, and then exhaling, crossing our arms over like this. And then inhaling again, and then exhaling, crossing slightly the other way. And then breathing in, good, and breathing out. And again, inhaling and exhaling. So now I'm going to show you the other variation, and you can try this one and see if this one or the other one feels better. And when you're doing your yoga practice every day, I want you to choose which of those feels best to you. So for this one, you're going to bring your arms up by your sides, making right angles. And now inhaling with your hands facing forward, and then exhaling, bringing your arms down. Good. And then inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling, and one more time, breathing in and breathing out, and then resting your arms down by your sides. And I always want you to remember that if any movement is causing you pain, please stop that movement or try a different variation of it. This one is a really good example of trying out different things that work best for your body. So just seeing which one feels best for you. That also helps you to get better in touch with the things that feel good for your body and the things that make your pain worse, helping you to get a better awareness of your own body, your own strengths, and the things that cause pain or make it better. So on this track, we're going to be doing movements for our back and for our neck. So the first few will be loosening up our spine, and you might feel some movement in your shoulders and your hips too, but mostly for our backs. The second set of movements, we'll be doing a bunch that are for our neck, that help the muscles in our neck to relax. So let's start by coming to the edge of our seat. And these movements, they can also be done in a chair or seated on the floor or in your bed. Let's start by either placing your hands on your thighs or putting your hands back behind you. You can do it either one of these ways. So let's start by inhaling, squeezing our shoulder blades back, slightly looking up, and exhaling, rounding down. And breathing in, squeezing our shoulder blades back, and exhaling, rounding down. And breathing in, squeezing our shoulder blades, coming forward, and exhaling, rounding. And again, breathing in and breathing out. And one last time, inhaling and exhaling. And then coming back to the center. Good. This next movement is another one for our spine, and we'll be moving from side to side. What's a little bit different about this movement is that we'll always be breathing into the center and then breathing out when we move away from center. Let's start by inhaling to the middle, and then let's all exhale to the right side. And inhaling back to center, and exhaling to the left side. And breathing into the middle, and breathing out. And again, inhaling to the center, sitting up nice and tall, and exhaling. Breathing into the middle, and breathing out. And one last time, breathing in, and exhaling away from center. And then just coming back to the middle. And taking a couple of deep breaths here. You can even feel free to close your eyes and just check in with your body. See what you feel in your spine and in any other part of your body, noticing your breath and noticing any thoughts that might be running through your mind and just letting them go, coming back to your breathing. This is another movement for our spine that is also where we're also going to be breathing in through the center and then exhaling as we move away from center. So let's all start by taking a deep breath into the middle. And then let's all twist to the right side. And we're gonna keep our left hand on our left leg as we twist. And then inhaling back to center again. And then exhaling, twisting in the opposite direction, keeping the right hand on the right thigh. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, twisting. Again, breathing back into the middle. And exhaling as we twist. We'll do just a couple more of these. Breathing into center, breathing out away from center. And one last time, inhaling to a nice tall spine and exhaling. And then let's all come back to the middle, taking a couple of deep breaths. The next few movements that we'll be doing are for our neck. And these movements are especially helpful if you ever get tension in the muscles around your neck. So here or in the back. And it's really important that you're very comfortable while you're doing these movements. So I want you to be sitting up, but you don't have to be really strict in your position. So you could even just sit back gently in your chair if you want, or keep an upright position, these movements can also be done seated on the floor as well. all of these neck movements, we're always going to be breathing into the center. The other thing I want to mention is that as soon as you feel comfortable with these movements, feel free to close your eyes and just really let yourself relax. So let's start with the first one. Let's breathe into the center, and then exhale, bring your chin down towards your chest. Then let's inhale back to the center, then exhaling, slightly looking up, breathing out through your mouth. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, bringing the chin down towards your chest. And again, breathing into the middle and exhaling, slightly looking up, breathing out through the mouth. Inhaling to the center. Exhaling, bringing the chin down. Inhaling to the center. And one last time, exhaling. And then coming back to the center. And let's just roll our shoulders up, back, and down. Good. All right. The next movement that we're going to be doing is one where we're going to bring our ear down towards our shoulder like this, but we don't want to bring our shoulder up towards our ear because that can create some more tension in the muscles. So let's all start by inhaling to the center and then exhaling, bringing our right ear down towards our right shoulder. And then inhaling to the center and exhaling to the other side, really relaxing the muscles in your neck. Inhaling to the center, exhaling, ear down towards the shoulder, and breathing into the center. And breathing out. And again, inhaling to the middle and exhaling. And one last time, breathing into the center and breathing out. And then let's bring our gaze forward again. And one more time, let's make some shoulder circles. And this time you could even kind of open your mouth and let your jaw relax a little bit. So kind of moving it around a little bit. Good. I know it looks a little silly sometimes, but that's okay. And then let's come back to the center again. And the last movement we'll do for our neck is we're gonna look over either of our shoulders and then come back to center. So let's do this together. We'll breathe into the middle. And then let's all exhale, look out over our right shoulder. Inhale to the center. And exhale in the other direction. Inhaling center. And exhaling. Breathing in. And breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. One last time on each side. Inhaling. And exhaling. And breathing in. And breathing out. And then just coming back to the middle. Let's roll our shoulders up, back, and down. One more time. Good job. Now that we've completed our yoga practice, let's just take a few minutes to relax. So come into any position that's comfortable for you, seated or on the ground, and feel free to close your eyes. Just begin to feel your entire body relaxing. Just notice your breath, your inhalation, and your exhalation. And notice any sensations, thoughts, or feelings that may arise. Noticing the flow of your breath in and out. Letting go of any stress and tension. Feeling all of your joints and muscles relaxing. And as you notice them, just be aware of them, and then you can come back to your breath. Feeling calm, relaxed. whenever you feel ready, you can just begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes and slowly open your eyes and noticing how you feel after practicing yoga today. Excellent job.